This conference will now be recorded.
Yes, very good morning. Today we are going to discuss about the implementation. Okay, whenever you go to any company, any organization for the interview purpose, first they'll check the person who has come for the interview has he worked on implementation or not. Okay, the first question they ask you, do you know anything about implementation? Have you worked on implementation? If you say yes, they will ask you few questions on that. If you say no, they will sometimes they will stop taking interview also, because what happened, implementation means from A to Z of SAP, from A to Z of SAP. Okay, if you tell ki, I have done the implementation, they come to know ki, you know each part of the basis. They come to know ki you touch each part of the basis, because in implementation, a project implementation, we have to work for 1 year, 1.5 year, where you have to touch all the areas like user creation, role creation, client creation, the- all big errors, small errors, installations, everything you have to touch apart, touch and leave like that. We have to do all things in this implementation. Okay, so here we have two things, as is, and we have one thing called as is, and we have one more thing called to be. So what is as is and what is to be? Okay, the process between as is to be is known as phase of implementation, because as is, today is what, 3rd of January, you are in as is. To reach to be, it will take next year April 25th, like 1 year 3 months, or June, next year June, 1 year 6 months, depending upon the project, depending on the process which are going to implement. We have to complete some phases to reach here. From here to reach here, you have to pass on some phases. First phase, second phase, third phase. Like from Hyderabad to Mumbai, if you want to come, so you have to cross some states. Like you have to cross Karnataka, you have to cross Maharashtra. Either you can take flight, either you can take bus, either you can take train. That is the phases. But if you start journey from Hyderabad and reach to Mumbai, you can even reach after 2 hours with the flight, or you can reach after 18 hours with the help of bus, or you can use after 16 hours with the help of train. Matlab, this is the phases. As this means you are in Hyderabad. To be means your destination, like Mumbai. That is a small good example for you. Okay, so you can reach here, and the stress you have taken, the process, like you have purchase ticket, you book a seat, ask to TT, like you did some process to reach here. Not like it's another magic. You sit your house and you can't come to Mumbai. You have to follow some phases. So here also, to complete the process in proper manner, we have to complete total 5 phases. You have to complete five phases. So what is implementation? Implementation is not going to done by a basis consultant. Implementation is not done by the basis consultant. It's the teamwork. Team of 20 people, team of 18 people, team of 15 people, a team of 25 people are able to do the implementation. Implementation means the entire work. In the entire work, you are playing a key role. You have to perform your role perfectly to complete. Like you watch a cinemas, you watch a movies. To complete a movie, we require several actors, like not like hero, heroine, villain. We need some support actors. Like with the help of those only, if they perform their activities properly, then the movie completes in 2 hours, 40 minutes, or 3 hours. But it has some process. The start date, end date, release date, everything. Like here also, we have many things. Here, um, there are two consultants, there are two SD consultants, there are four FA consultants, there are three PP consultants, there are 10 ABAPers, and there are two basis consultants to complete this task. For whom you are going to purpose, for whom you are going to play this role, or for whom you are going to do this, for the client, for the for the company. Like for example, you have been hired in some big MNC company and they put on to implementation. They tell you have to travel to Gujarat, somewhere in Gujarat. Okay, there is a company called ABC who just want to implement SAP at their place. Okay, there's a company in Gujarat who need to implement SAP at their place, or they decided to go for SAP, but they are working on old ERP, any Tally ERP, any old ERP they have. So they have to remodule, they have to reshuffle everything, or they have to build a new things with the help of SAP. They have to build it. So you have got appointed for that project. So what you do? You have to go to the client place. You are joining a consulting firm, then you have to go to the client place to Gujarat to know what, to know what, to know first, to know the first phase, the requirement gathering. Second phase, blueprint. Third phase, realization. Fourth phase, test and training. Fifth phase, go live kind of thing. And we have some post go live activities. So here what happened? Here what happened? Requirement gathering is the first phase. In requirement gathering, what you're going to do, what all customers are going to do. Here we have got 4 weeks of time. 4 weeks means if today it starts at third on any month of third, you have to complete next week third. Matlab 30 days you have to complete the task. You can either complete in 3 days, sit at your home, or you can complete in 10 days, sit at your home, or you can complete in 15 days. But after 30 days, if company manager, your manager asks you something, you should be answerable to him properly. You should be answerable to him properly. So here what type of requirement you have to gather? Like the consultant visit client place to know the process of their existing business. It may be chemical industry, it may be oil industry, it may be manufacturing industry. We have to go there to the factory, to the location, and see the live process how they are working with their old ERP, and we have to convert everything from old ERP to the SAP ERP. That is your task. That is your task. But you don't know the business. How do they business? If it's a chemical industry, they do have 50 new processes. If it's a manufacturing industry, they do have 70 processes. But this process, this process, this process. Then by obtaining those processes from last 20 years, they're doing the business. Now what they ask you, please transfer all these processes to the SAP. That's your duty. You transfer, you move all these processes as per our system, but into a SAP. From our system, take to what you want, what you would like to know in case of that, you would like to know the all the process and try to redevelop same process. Try to redevelop same process in SAP. Okay. So what we'll do, the MM is material management. We'll go and meet purchase manager. Matlab purchase manager of the company who work from the company from last 15 years, 20 years. He know each and every nook of the purchase for that company. From where they purchase, how they purchase, what is the pricing, what is the delivery date, what is the credit policy, everything. Matlab, he has got minimum 20 processes in MM, like store process, inventory process, stock process. Okay. So each consultant try to work with him for 1 month and try to collect everything and take down some proper points because he needs to move it all those things to SAP once he gather all the requirements. Okay, then SD, sales and distribution. He will go and meet sales manager. Why? Because sales manager, after you complete a product, finished product, it requires sales. You are not going to put it to go down. From go down to till it's reached to the customer, a consumer, a dealer, a wholesaler who takes care of sales will take part. So what is required is sales, packaging, courier cost, transportation, landing billing, credit periods, how you send your parcels, how you receive payments. So all this requires some processes. You may have 15 total new processes. So SD consultant will learn all these 15 processes with working with for next 1 month. Okay. Now comes the FI, the danger part. FI means the danger part. The main things FI. If MM two people are working, SD two people are working. For FI, you require minimum three peoples because see, if you do any mess with FI, if you do any mess with FI, your whole processes goes down. Nothing will working for you because the finance is a heart of a business. Finance is a heart of a business. If you are not doing finance thing correct, if you do one wrong entry, it will go and hit 100 places the wrong entry, and your balance sheets never get tallied because of that. So FI has to take very preciously, and all the tax policies, all the GST policies, according to the Gujarat state, they have to follow all those things properly according to the client requirement. Now you are now the basis. What basis will do? FI will miss accounted. Basis will meet the IT head, VP head, or IT manager, because these are the persons who know the total network of the company, how network flows, how they work in internet, how they work with intranet, how they send messages to outside, how they block uh, firewalls. All these things they come to know with the help of IT head, VP head, or local IT manager, and try to understand the network, internet and intranet, within the building, outside the building. Wherever you have SAP, you need to know how to work from outside building in secure manner. Matlab you are not in a building. Your office is in Hyderabad, but you sit in Bengaluru. You have to work from there with your laptop. So how? Matlab you have to give access from outside world also. You're sitting, your office in Hyderabad, you sit in US. Your office in Hyderabad, you sit in somewhere in Mumbai, somewhere in Delhi, somewhere in Calcutta. But you have you have to design a network in such a way your people should come and hit your server and take data from your server, add data to your server. That's your job. Okay? And you have to take only your persons, not anybody will come and hit your server. You have to restrict many things in firewall. You have to open many things in the firewall to all to do all those things. Okay. Now what happened? Now see, you have to check with the firewall rules and check the SSO network and security of. So you have to check how secure they keep their data, because SAP has the first rule to keep their data in secure place. Not like anybody will come and hack your data. Not possible if you're on SAP. Okay. Then you have to ask them some IP addresses, because in a company where they're working, there are many softwares, like they work on Oracle, they work on VB, they work on many third-party tools, they work on backups. Okay? For different things, they assign some IP addresses. You have to book 40 IP addresses minimum. 40 IP addresses, especially for SAP. Why 40 IP addresses? We are not going to use 40 IP addresses today, tomorrow. It is for next 5 years. It's for next 7 years. Okay, because if these are is a if you're working for a big MNC company, if somebody asks you what's your IP range, you could able to tell like my IP range is 10.0.0.1 to 0.040. That looks good. Like if you ask only 10 IP addresses, like 1 to 10, if some other person come, the company will give 11 to 20. Then again you go after 1 year saying I want some IP addresses. Then they will not able to give from 11 to 20. They will able to give from 21 to 30. At that time somebody asks you, please give IP range. Then you have to tell like this. We have from 10.0.0 to 1 till 10, then 21, then 30, which doesn't look good in a big company, giant companies. You have fixed IP ranges. That is the reason why we have to work this 40 IP addresses for your future use. If some other person come to IT team and he ask the IP addresses, then he can assign from 41, because we have booked from 10 to 40 for your SAP installation and SAP processes. Like this thing will go for 4 weeks. This will take for 1 to 4 weeks. It's depending upon you. So once this process gets completed, matlab you almost done 1 month project. You almost complete 1 month project. Then it comes to the blueprint phase. So what is this now blueprint phase? What is now this blueprint phase? Blueprint phase means here you have to again go to your company. You have to go to again to your company. You have to be manager. You have to be manager. Yeah, they share their knowledge and process of the current project. They made, what happened, all consultant like SD, PP, FI, all consultant F basis MMs come at one place, sit in one place, and they now share the knowledge how the project, what they developed, what they getting out of in the last 28 days. They have to try to explain to manage everything, and accordingly they have to prepare some PPTs. Like will create 15 PPTs, SD will create 12 PPTs, basis will create 5 PPTs. Like you have to create some bunch of PPTs and pictorial diagram, matlab how business flows. Will work, I'm going to work like this. SD says, I'm going to work like this. FI says, we are going to work like this. So you need to show everything to a manager. Once manager sees, because he's your head, he might have knowledge of all the processes, and he rectify you wherever you goes wrong. Wherever you goes, he rectifies you. And after doing this, you have to make a pictorial diagrams or PPTs of 50, 55 slides and go through all slides properly and take the appointment from the client, because you need to again visit a client place or book a scheduler. Nowadays, everything is online. You schedule a meeting with the client and all heads of clients. Heads of client means the head, the HR head, the FI head or IT head. In front of them, you have to show the flow of the business which you have developed for them. Either you visit physically or you put some meeting and show from there, because now from last 2 years everything is working on online itself. Okay, it's depending upon you. If client says you come, we'll pay you for everything. Otherwise, I will okay with your Zoom meeting or go to meeting or any hangout, anything. So your target is to show all those things. But when the purchase manager had the sales manager had seen that PPT, they found some issues, because what happened? They are working in this industry from 20 years. They know each and every nook, what to they rectify. In you have to do these modifications. SD again this modification, FI this modification. But again they have to work on PPTs again. Again schedule a meeting and show, because customer needs a final copy. Customer needs a final. It means once you approve really work this blueprint phase, so what customer thinks ki once my project is complete, I'm going to get this product which is in this PPT, which is in the PPT. So real on this PPT, it's of 50, 60 slides. From first slide to 650, 60 slides, they see the whole flow of the business and they do some modifications and do rectification. Again, put some uh, meeting and they approve. Oh, now it's okay. Now it's okay. Now it's okay. Then you can send a mail to them ki this is a blueprint phase. Like this, we are going to implement project at your place. Like this, we are going to implement project at your place. Now the first, and this process will take minimum 3 weeks. This process will take minimum 3 weeks, like preparing PPTs, schedule a meeting, again do some modifications in meeting. Maximum 3 weeks. Either you complete in 10 days or 15 days. But after 3 weeks, you can't say, yeah, I don't have time. I'm busy with this. I am not able to do this, but you have to complete this task in 3 weeks of time, because every week is payable for you. For every week you are getting paid, because you promised the client within 52 weeks or within 48 weeks or within 75 weeks you are going to complete a project. You already invested 7 weeks over here, 4 weeks over here, 3 weeks over here, 7 weeks already gone. Now the phase come, realization phase. Now the phase comes where the realization. Realization means what? Realization means from pictorial diagrams, from PPTs, they put everything into live scenarios. From the PPTs, from the pictorial diagrams, they try to put everything in the hardcore system, new system. Here, basis has to get activated immediately, because without basis, nothing goes here. when this blueprint phase started, the basis get a confirmation from the manager. You start installing development system, because from this day our people are going to work on realization. Before that, what they require? They require single box called development. Okay, for installing system, it will take minimum 7 to 8 days for basis. For installing patches, just not installing system, you have to implement the licenses, you have to implement all kernel patches, upgrade patches. But we have to make system as per customer requirement. You have to do pre-steps, you have to do post-steps. Okay, then he has to send a mail to his manager saying that the system has been installed. Now he sends some IDs. You have to create IDs, and you have to create some IDs for on which the people going to work. Who people? The consultant, the ABAPers, the SD consultant, the FI consultant, the FI consultant, FI, MM will work on that. The manager will approve, create 3 IDs, create 2 FI IDs, create 5 basis IDs, sorry, ABAP IDs. Like that, you create all IDs and test them properly and hand over things to the functional team. Hand over to the functional team. So now what's going on? Now you see, basis get already activated. Now all MM people, SD people, FI people are going to activate these things. Now to explain you these things, I'll take one small Excel sheet and try to explain these things in real manner, how these things working on real scenarios. Because I have been worked in some of the implementations, so I know these things in well manner. So I'll just take 10 weeks example, okay? I'm taking 10 weeks example, but if you go to any project, if you go to any company and in front of the laptop or internet desktop, if you see some Excel sheet attached like this, then you imagine that key implementation is going on, because everybody has to judge themselves. We are already in third week and I am on second week only. Matlab, the task which they need to complete, they have to start working day night to complete this task on time. Otherwise, they will not able to complete this thing. And this is the main thing. If they fail here, they are not able to deliver project on time at any cost. There what happened? I'll give you examples. MM, SD, FI, ABAP, and basis. So this is who is going to lead this? A project manager. A project manager. Project manager who has got good experience in project man project manager who worked on this kind of things well before. Okay, like for example, a manager is been assigned to you for doing all these tasks. Okay, so what happened? He has to keep what is duty. He has to keep continuous follow up with all the consultants to know the developments of the project, to know the progress of project. For example, Mr. A is appointed you as a manager for implementation, and it's of 10-week project. Okay, 10 weeks project, but he never called you. He called you on the first day and telling you best of luck, guys. Start working. I'm with you. This, that, that. He kick off the meeting and you start from next day. He never calls you. He never calls you. You also never call him. You also working. He also working. You face some issues in between. So you tell to your IT team, this team, that team, and try to recollect. Sometimes you call him also, sir, this issue. Okay, no problem, I'll see. But he never replied to your mails or he never taking care of your business. He never take care of your project, but he is a project manager. So what happened in such case? That the duration of is 10 weeks. He called you in ninth week. All consultant, one by one, started calling. What? Hey, what happened? Where are you? And on which phase you are? I think you're almost on last phase because we are going to submit priority next week. Then he got we got some answers. What said, sir, hi, sir, we are working day night. We are completing our task on daily in time, but we are still struggling in fifth week. We are still struggling in fifth week, but we are working. We are working here, but we ask you help many times, but you haven't replied our mails also. But anyhow, we are in fifth week. No problem. Fifth week, then SD. SD will say, sir, we are on fourth week only, but we are working on a project and we try to deliver these things. No problem. And what FI? FI says, sir, we are on sixth week. We are on sixth week. ABAPA say we are in fifth week. Basis on fourth week only. This is the result. This is the outcome on ninth week. This is the outcome on ninth. What do you think? Next week is going to deliver the project on time? Not possible. It will become a big disaster for him. It will become a big disaster because he never called the consultant first week, second week, third week to take updates and fill the loopholes of the project. So this happens in many projects. So they become big disasters for and they lost huge amount of money. You know that in foreign in US UK, if you are not able to deliver project on time, if you promise to the client you are going to deliver project in 42 weeks, okay, no problem. It's been agreement, it's properly agreement from the court. 42 weeks, no problem. They will give 5 more weeks as a grace period, but the 47 weeks. Take 48 weeks, no problem. But in that frame also, if you are not able to deliver the project, then you have to pay the huge penalty to them. They'll pay you 2 crores, no problem. But you have to pay 5 crores to them as a penalty because you are wasting their time and to make this project as a big disaster for them. Okay, so this is a pure agreement nowadays. Okay, if you promise you are delivering, then you have to deliver. If natural calamities come, if some disasters come, if a building collapses, like all those things happen, so no problem, client will take care of you. But everything goes fine, and if you're not to deliver project on time, then they will ask for the penalty charges. Okay, otherwise they will take your manager to the court also. They will take a legal action. So for that reasons, it happens with many companies last 15, 20 years back, 10 years back. Now they have the proper sheet how to implement a project in real because realization phase is the main phase. It will only decide whether going to deliver project on time or not. This is the phase which is going to decide whether you are going to deliver project on time or you are wasting your time and client time. Okay. See, so what need to follow over here is a new rule comes in the market from last 12, 15 years. What manager does? They keep a meeting every third week, sixth week. And now they keep three weeks only, 12 weeks, 15 weeks, 18 weeks. But I give example of 10 weeks only. So here what happened when project is coming to nearer completion, like 4 weeks left. For example, 4 weeks left, then they have to take meeting every week. They have to keep meeting every week, fourth week, third week. When it comes to 2 weeks only, they have to start making every day now. But now they have to take decisions whether go or not to go, whether go or not to go. They don't have time. They are left with only even 14 days of time to deliver the project. So like this manner, if they work and decision should in this way, decision will take in 15 minutes only. Nobody will wait for you for one day. Just give me one day. No, not possible. What you have done from last 40 weeks. Okay. There is no time. The project manager has to activate it very actively last 3 to 4 weeks. and get things done from. He is not doing anything. He just manage the project, but he has to manage those things properly by which he can deliver the things properly to the client. And if you deliver project in 42 weeks in your grace period, your company will get good marks, new clients also, and some bonus also you are getting. Okay, it's all depending upon your hard work. Now you see started working, SD started working, FI also, ABAP also, base also. Now the times comes third week, the meeting started. Project manager ask you, guys, where are you? What's your developments? How you do? What's your then Silky? So we are doing, we are on second week. See, after keeping this many follow-ups, still they are in second week. But the problem started from first day itself. Problem started from first day itself. Now CSD. SD is in first week only. It's miserable. They are still in first week. When they come to next 3 weeks, it takes time. FI, FI is in second week. Abapus on second week. Basis it's at first week only. This is the outcome at the end of third week. Now we have to explain him what happened, why you are not able to cover these things. They tell ki sir, project issues. There are many processes and few processes are very new for us. So we need one expert consultant in our team. So we can in 6th week we can reach to 6th week without any problem. To reach to 6th week on time, we need one consultant immediately. On immediately basis, one consultant required. Okay. Consultant required. Now, no problem. One consultant approved by product manager. Now it comes to the part of SD. What happened SD? Why are in first week only? Why in first week means what is answer? Sir, this is the totally new industry for us. Okay. Still now we work with automobile industry. Now this is the manufacturing industry. The courier part, the transport and logistic parts are totally different for us. So we need one expert consultant for manufacturing logistics. There are different areas in SAP, okay? Some people experts in manufacturing, some people experts in aeronautical, some people experts in food industries, some people experts in manufacturing, textile, media, advertisement, like that. So we need here what they require. They require an expert consultants for manufacturing. One SD expert of manufacturing with 7 years experience. This is the requirement. Okay, now it comes to FI. What FI? Why you are not also reached your target? So here the tax policies are very rigid. They are stick to stack policies. So we require one
Can you scroll
chartered
down?
accountant.
We could not able to see.
What?
We could not able to see the content. Just scroll down. Yeah.
Now?
Now it is looks good.
So here FI, we require one CA. CA means a chartered accountant with SAP knowledge. With SAP knowledge, with FI and 5 years experience. Okay. To find this consultant, they need to pay 3 lakhs per year, per month to FI consultant with chartered accountant with FI knowledge with 5 years experience. They'll charge 3 lakhs per month. There's a salary going on in the market for FI consultants. If it's a CA with FI knowledge. Now it comes to Abapus. Abapus, there are already 5 Abapus in place. They are already, because Abapus, you go to any project, you find 8 Abapus, you find 7 Abapus. If it's a big project, you can even find 15 Abapus or sit over there for working, because Abapus has to work 24/7, do some codings according to the process of the business. Here, what Abapus said? Abapus said, sir, we need 3 new Abapus. New Abapus, see, new Abapus. They're telling new Abapus of freshers. For what? For testing. Coding is not a big task for them, but testing take a huge time. If they want to code 4,000 line program, they'll code it in one day because they're the experts. But to rectify the errors from the coding, to rectify the errors from the output, it takes time. So if seniors are putting and testing things, then they will not able to deliver things on time. These are seniors, 5 years, 7 years people are working over here to complete process on time, and they do testing also in between. But testing should be perfect, man. Otherwise, project manager will reject all your developments, saying that this is not working as per my scenarios, as per customer scenarios. The sheets are not tally with customer scenarios, please work on that. So they need three freshers to just for testing. Now it comes to basis. What basis? You're in first week. Yes, sir, I'm in first week itself because I have installed development system and hand over things to the people. Now I'm waiting for the hardware. I don't have hardware for quality and the uh, uh, production. I just keep follow up. Then the project manager will send immediately mail to the hardware vendor saying that key we have still not received a hardware. Please send the hardware. We almost touched third week. We need immediate hardware so we can install quality system for the quality people. Okay, no problem. Now this is the case in third week. Now everything is fine. Now everything is fine. The manager take risk part and try to complete all these things. Now everybody reaches to third week. Okay. Now 6 weeks come. Now what is the output of 6 weeks? People started working from here. Somebody from here. Somebody from here. Now here, see here. Your 6th week again some problems come for the SD people. Again problem with people, FI people. Again the problem comes from also, SD also, FI also, ABAP also. But basis is in place. See, like this errors comes, these things comes like here. If you are SD, they tell Kisa one consider not coming to a project from last 7 days. We need one replacement. Okay, here SICA has allowed a place. We started working on that. But things are very rigid over here. But we try to compile things and complete. Now you're going to work for 14 hours, 15 hours in the project to complete things before it's live. Like that, you see, every week errors are going to come. So manager, you just escalate to manager or you have to keep continue follow up with the manager saying that "Okay, this happened, that happened." In the fifth week you face some issues, call manager. If you face some issue in fourth week, call manager. Then he will call his manager and try, because if you has an issue, if you're not solved, you stick there till next meeting. You stuck there only for next till sixth week. It's not good for completion of project. If you face any issues, take his mobile number, take his mail ID, and put him mail with all the heads leads in CC. You get immediate reply, or WhatsApp him, message him, call him, do anything, but try to resolve issue on the day which is arised. If you don't find consultant coming to a office from 3 days, 2 days, just call him immediately. Say, is the absconded, is not coming to a place, please need a replacement. Because if you wait for him for next 1 week, you again lost 1 week and you are behind 1 week for SD or for any reason. Okay, like this, these things are come. You have to face everything in proper manner and try to complete this thing on time. Like these things are coming for all projects. Nobody is going to complete things on time because SAP is not a small thing to work on. They used to come these errors, but manager should take care and deliver things. When he reaches here, now I have to take everyday meeting. Now he has to take everyday meeting here. He needs to deliver the things on time. If he do all things over here, here, if he needs, put 2 3 more consultants for 1 week. Because if you look at the companies, they have got many consultants. So if he feels in last 2 weeks are left and is lagging, SD is lagging, don't tell to client all those things. What do you do? You put 3 more experts because they know all the project, how project go, because they already work on implementation. They take help of 3 more consultants for one, but they need to pay for 1 week only. They are for 1 week only. But additionally, they put some more consultants and start getting things done. Because once you reach here, everything could be transparent. Once you reach here, everything should be perfectly complete. Either you take two more consultants, three more consultants, nobody cares. But management will help you to do all these things. You tell management, who the manager will tell. The management, I need two more SD consultant, one more MM consultant, three more FI consultant, four ABAPers, and one more basis consultant. So they will give you no, they won't say no because it's a requirement for 1 week. You are just going to deliver the project on time. So you can deliver the project on time, or you take one more grace week. That's it. You have 5 weeks grace period, but you take one more grace period, test it things properly, and hand over project to the client. Now you have been completed third phase called realization phase. This is the toughest phase for all the projects. Now this thing has done. Now the phase come training and testing, where the basis needs to start work from 6 weeks before only, 5 to 6 weeks before. If management declares from 1st of February we are going to start testing and training, then basis get activated on 25th of December itself, because he need minimum 1 month to work on, because he needs to build a quality box. He wants to build a quality box. First of all, he will build a quality box and do all pre-steps and post-steps, check system thoroughly one more time. Then he has to send a mail to manager saying that the system is ready. Now he asks the client, because on this system who is going to work? The client people is going to work, because client needs to test whatever things you develop in MM, FI. Who will test? The client people will test. See, here basis has to ready with the quality system and creating users and assign roles as per module. Like client has some MM consultants, client has some SD consultant. You have to create some role. When MM logged in, he is to works for MM only. When SD logs in, he is to works in SD. Not like they will work in all modules. Means security is not correct in your company. They will not able to test things properly for not going proper rules. They again blame you, saying that the rules are not working. So you have to test rules properly and hand over system to the client people. Now they started testing things. What they test? See, the business requirement is 120 processes. Now you developed 80 processes already, 40 processes left. Then the testing phase is started, and you just hand over 80 processes to this client people. They started testing one by one, and this process will go for next 8 weeks. This process will go for next 8 weeks. In 8 weeks, what happened? What you need to do? You need to, the tester needs to test everything properly. If they don't, and if you know how many testers will be there for each module, minimum 3 to 4 test people are there, because they have to test everything in span of 8 weeks or 9 weeks, and that too thoroughly. Not like if they approve the wrong document, then they will be in big trouble. If you see process number 53 is not working properly, then also you approve it. Then if once you approve, once you sign off the document, then you have to agree that everything is working fine. And your management paid money also to them. So after 2 months, you are going to see this 53% not working. Then what consultant tell, sir, you need to pay money for this, because you have approved this document, you have signed off the document, and we have closed the ticket for the document, that process. If you want to reopen, then send a mail to us. Now we are working on day basis. So it's very ridiculous. So what client people need to see, whether it take 12 weeks, no problem, but they have to test every process in proper manner. If they without testing they approve, then you'll be in big trouble in coming days. Now testing has done. Now the training. What's the training phase? What is the training phase? Training phase means you are implementing SAP where people are working on old ERP. They don't know what is SAP, how to work in SAP. If you build server, start server and give to the people, what do you think they are going to work? No, they don't know how to work in SAP. Yeah. So you have to train them. Who will train them? Because see, the company in Gujarat, head office, but they have got branches throughout the India, throughout the world. So they are, as per their as for their queries, as for their business, there are 1,000 people who work in SAP every day. 1,000 people are working in SAP means is a huge people. You have to train all those 1,000 people how to work in MM, how to work in SD, how to work with FI. But they don't know. That's the first time they're doing SAP. So it's possible to train 1,000 people in 8 weeks? Not possible. So what you need to do? You have to call managers from all the sites. You have to call managers, leads, team leads, process in charges. Okay, who are the lead who take care of the project or in charge of that site? Call him to head office. You call minimum 50, 60 people instead of 1,000 people, train them properly. And how to train them? First 3 weeks you need to train them. But you train continuously for 3 weeks. Show the process 24 by 8 hours every day. Okay, there's a MM 15 process, FI 20 process, SD again 20 process. Show each process. Show all 20 process every day for 3 weeks. They come to know, oh, this is SAP. This is how I would like to work in this. Okay, no problem. The next 2 weeks, you just shadow them. So don't tell them. You just see what errors they are making in purchase orders, purchase making. Like there are many things they started working for next 2 weeks. They shadow them. 6th weeks, they start work independently. मतलब on 6th week, by end of 6th week, they have started working independently in all the modules. Now they are experts, MM experts, SD experts. They learn everything. Once they learn, they immediately go to their places. Again, they don't sit here because they know everything. They have some documentation. They immediately fly to their place and they train remaining peoples. मतलब in next 6 weeks, everybody is ready for work in SAP. Next 6 weeks, they also do same thing. 3 weeks training, 2 weeks shadowing, or 3 weeks shadowing. But after that, they will also start working with SAP. मतलब this phase is complete successfully. Testing also done, training also done, and now all 1,000 end users will able to work with SAP independently without any issues. That is the requirement. Okay. Now the phase comes where go live. What is this go live? Go live means they will build production server. They have to do all. See, when go live comes, basis has to work 35 to 40 days. These are the sleepless nights for basis. Here, one basis will not require, minimum 2 basis people require, because here he has to build a production server. To build a production server is a time consuming process. You have to check all things properly. Then not only build a server, you have to create 1,000 users who are going to log into server once production goes live. When production goes live, people are going to work. Just creation user ID is not required. Creation user ID will 3-4 days. But after that, you have to create a proper roles for them. Not only creation of roles, they are the laymen, they don't know anything. You have to you have to give test roles to MM people, SD people, and tell them to test whether they're working properly or not. Once they approve everything is fine, then you give those roles only, because if you go wrong roles, they will not to operate and they will call again, ki sir, I'm stuck over here, what to do now? So before go live, if you're not test things, then it is a sleepless for you for next 30 days, because continually 24 they started calling you saying that, ki sir, I'm stuck in here from one side. Somebody says, ki I'm usually locked from the other side, but every day you're getting minimum 200 errors. If you're not creating proper users and proper rules, you're getting minimum 200 errors every day in 8 hours of time. We have to well plan this for go live. So you have to build production server, all basic configuration, pre-steps, post-steps, patch upgrade, kernel upgrade. After you have to create 1,000 users, creating roles, test roles with a functional team and assign to the user. This is the task where basis will learn many new things in this project. Now this thing has gone. Now now people have started working. Now we have to work in post go live support or hypercare support. This is what may more must learn thing for all consultants. Here what MMSDFI will sit in one place and people started working on live environment and they are getting live errors. Live errors in manufacturing industry. Here what happened, the day one they got 300 errors. Day two they again got 300 errors. Day three again they got 200 errors. But they are small errors. They are small errors. It could be rectified in 2-3 minutes by the experts and they're working. So when they leave the company after 45 days, when they leave the company after 45 days, the error should be zero. It means you have done everything smooth line, everything is smooth, working smooth. Then you hand over project to the client people. Now client basis will actively working on this project from that day. Because client, because see what happened once this phase got over, next 45 days, if you keep a consultant one more extra day, they will charge 10,000 per consultants per day, 15,000 per consultant per day. Okay. So before this, the company build their own team of SAP. Like they'll hire some people, they hire some SD people, they hire some basis people. Okay. So what basis will do, what SD will do, they'll take KT from all these consultants, what they have done. They take all documentation, keep it with them, and before go live, they learn all those things. Then the consultant left the organization. The new team, which has been appointed by the company client side, they are going to work on this project from that day. This is what a implementation thing and the basis or MMSD, where he will learn. They will learn most of the things according to industry in this phase because till now they are working all repetitive work, but here all quality work because if they work for automobile industry, they get different errors. If you work in manufacturing industry, they get some new errors. Here, that is the reason why if you say I had worked on implementation, then the interview come to imagination that you worked all the steps of the SAP. Like basis, what basis will do? He will do installation, he will create users, he will create roles, he will create background jobs, he will create maintain profile parameters, he upgrade patches, he upgrade kernels, he applies some nodes, he talk to SAP many times for many reasons. Matlab, he touched all the areas of basis one by one in this 1.5 year. Okay. So you should know. If you're not done also, then you should able to tell interview that key you have done the implementation and this in this phase I have done this. In this phase I have done this. We have to make them understand what you know about implementation. This is what. Okay. This is about our session. Okay. So tomorrow when we will meet, we will work on landscape. Again, we work on architecture of SAP. Then we work on roles of basis admin. Then we worked on release strategy of SAP. Then we'll start work on live server. If you know this thing properly next 3 to 4 days, then you know what is ERP, what is once you complete all these basic lectures, you come to know what is ERP, what is basis, what all things you need to do to work on this. Then you are ready